Hello students, now continue with the third chapter, periodic classification. Since we have learned up to ionization enthalpy, so today we are going to start with the electron gain enthalpy. So let's start. So students, what is electron gain enthalpy? Since in ionization enthalpy, we are just providing the energy to remove the electron. In this case, we are adding the electron. So what happens? Suppose any atom is there. This is a nucleus and this is here suppose this is the shell and this is the valence shell. So if we are adding electron from outside in this valence shell, then we know if we are adding or any electron is coming from infinity to the ground state or to the lower energy state. So if we are adding electron over here, then it all depends on the atom whether it is gaining the electron easily or more hardly. So if the atom is gaining electron, then it will gain the electron and release the energy, and this released energy is called as electron gain enthalpy. Okay, so what is electron gain enthalpy? The amount of energy released on adding an electron in an isolated gaseous atom in its valence shell. So how can we represent it? Suppose X is an element, it is in isolated gaseous state. Okay, so if we are adding an electron in it, then what happen? It will convert into the monovalent anion, and also it will release the energy. Okay, and also it will release the energy. It will form monovalent anion and it will also release the energy. This energy we can represent in the form of this one, and the value of this energy is negative, and this energy is called as electron gain enthalpy. So you have to remember that the amount of energy released to add electron to an isolated gaseous atom to form monovalent anion. Okay, such type of energy release is called electron gain enthalpy. Now one more thing that I want to tell you, that since we know that about the non-metals, you know that p block elements or the p block of periodic table, it consists of mainly non-metals. So non-metals, what are the non-metals? Non-metals, they are generally more electronegative, or we can say their size is comparative lesser, so they have the ability to gain the electron more easily. Okay, that's why the non-metals will gain the electron more easily. That's why they are having more negative, we can say they are having more negative value of ionization enthalpy. Okay, sorry, electron gain enthalpy. So for non-metals, the value of electron gain enthalpy will be more negative. The negative over here, the negative sign over here represents that the energy is released, it is not absorbed. Okay, so more negative value means that more amount of energy is released. Why? Because they are having lesser size, so that's why due to less size they will easily gain electron. Okay, and if they are gaining the electron, adding the electron in their atom, then in that case more amount of energy is easily released. Okay, more negative value will be released. That means we can say more amount of energy is released, and if energy is released, we are representing it with negative sign. Similarly, for metals, since metals are having large size, they are having less negative value of electron gain enthalpy. So they are having lesser value of electron gain enthalpy. Why they are lesser value of electron gain enthalpy? Because their size is more. That's why inner electron repulsion will also be there from the inner side, inner core electron. That's why it will be very difficult to add electron. Means nucleus is not in the condition to attract the outer electron. Okay, so that's why they will release lesser amount of energy, okay, in adding the electron. Okay, so you have to remember this thing. Now what happened, now we will discuss about the different thing, like the unit of electron gain enthalpy. Like the ionization energy, the unit of electron gain enthalpy is also electron volt per atom, or we can say kilojoule per mole. These are the units of electron gain enthalpy. Okay, now what happened? Let's discuss about the successive electron gain enthalpy. Successive means continue. If we are adding again and again electrons in an atom, then what will be the effect on electron gain enthalpy? The electron gain enthalpy is represented by this symbol. Okay, or you can represent delta EGH. No problem. So what will be the effect on successive? Suppose there is an atom that is nitrogen. Okay, we are taking the example of nitrogen, or you can take an example of any of the elements. Suppose X is an element. Okay, if we are adding the electron, then we know that X negative, that is monovalent anion, will be formed, as well as large amount of energy is released. That is negative H, negative electron gain enthalpy. The value will be in negative. Why it is in negative? Because the large amount of energy is released, since the first electron gain enthalpy is always having negative value. Okay, now we are having the monovalent anion. That means continuously one more electron is added from the outside. Okay, now what happens if we are adding one more electron to this monovalent anion? Then we know that already on adding the electron from somewhere, a repulsion is there. So due to repulsion, we know since the inner core electron, or already the electron which are present in an atom, they are actually repelling this electron, okay, which we have gained from outside. So due to this repulsion, if we are adding one more electron, because already there is a repulsion force inside it, it is already getting some repulsion force due to the inner core electron on this added electron, and we are adding one more electron. So what happened, that amount of repulsion will increase on a very large scale, and to overcome this repulsion force, we have to give energy from the outside, or the atom requires an energy from outside to gain this electron, to overcome this repulsion force and to become -2. In this case, the energy, actually the amount of energy released on adding the electron is lesser as compared to the energy given by us to the atom. That's why here the value of electron gain enthalpy is positive. Okay, so this is the first electron gain enthalpy. This is the second electron gain enthalpy. Similarly, if we are having X -2 and we are adding one more electron to form trivalent anion, in that case again we have to give a large amount of energy from outside to overcome the electron repulsion. That's why continuously the first ionization energy will be negative, while the second as well as successive, the value of first electron gain enthalpy will be negative, and the successive electron gain enthalpies will be positive and continuously increase, because continuously the repulsion force is increasing. That's why to overcome these repulsion forces, continuously the value of electron gain enthalpy will be increasing. That's why we can say that delta H means electron gain enthalpy, that is third electron gain enthalpy, will be more as compared to second electron gain enthalpy will be more as compared to the first electron gain enthalpy, and so on. Fourth one is also more than third one. So in this way, continuously the value of electron gain enthalpy will increase. The value of first electron gain enthalpy will be negative and the value of all the successive electron gain enthalpy will be positive. Why it is positive? Because we have to give extra energy, large amount of energy to overcome the repulsion force between the electrons. Okay. Now there are certain factors which affect the electron gain enthalpy. Okay, number one is atomic size. Since if the atomic size will increase, then the value of electron gain enthalpy will increase. Why? Because if the size of atom is continuously increasing, that means the attraction of nucleus over the outermost electron will decrease. That's why we have to give extra amount of energy from our side to overcome this repulsion force. That's why the value of electron gain enthalpy will be decreasing. Okay. Now next one will be Z effective, that is effective nuclear charge. Since we know that if atomic size will decrease, then the effective nuclear charge will increase. That's why the electron will add it to any atom more easily, and if it will be added more easily, then that means more amount of energy is released, more negative value is released, and that's why we can say effective, that when electron gain enthalpy will also increase. More negative, that means negative sign over here represent the releasing of energy. Okay, so more energy will be released, that means the electron gain enthalpy will also increase. Similarly, there are certain more factors like the screening effect. We can see third one is screening effect. So the electron gain enthalpy is also directly proportional to the, inversely proportional to the screening effect. Why? Because if atomic size will increase, then that means screening effect is increasing. That's why the nucleus is having lesser amount of attraction force over the outermost electron, and we have to give more amount of energy to overcome this repulsion force. That's why when electron is added, it will release lesser amount of energy, and in this case the value of electron gain enthalpy will decrease. So on increasing screening effect, the value of electron gain enthalpy decrease. Now the next part is, next one more point is there, that is the electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. Students, you have to remember that there are two type of electronic configuration. Number one is half filled and second one is full filled. Okay, full filled and half filled electronic configuration are there, like P3, D5, F7, full filled like P6, D10, S2, okay, F14. These are the full filled. Since the half filled and full filled electronic configuration, they are quite more stable. If any atom is having outermost half filled or full filled electronic configuration in their orbitals, then that means they are more stable. And we know that if we are adding an electron to the already stable atom, then the atom do not actually any stable, like the noble gas is there, it is having the stable electronic configuration. So any stable atom do not want to add any more electron. That's why we have to give the energy from outside to add electron to the atom. And whenever the electron is added, it will release a very lesser amount of energy, because we are adding it from the energy given by us only. So that means they are having a large amount of positive energy, and of course they are having, if any fulfilled orbital is there, then all those orbitals have approximate zero or positive electron gain enthalpy, because electron is not willing to go over there. The atom is not willing to add the electron to their shell because already they are stable. So that's why their electron gain enthalpy is approximate 0. Okay. Now one more thing is there, that noble gases like neon is there, like argon is there, helium is there. So they are having the fulfilled electronic configuration. They are quite very stable. That's why they are having almost 0 electron gain enthalpy. Very lesser electron gain enthalpy across a period. Okay, so these are the 4 factors which affect the electron gain enthalpy of an atom. Now we are going to discuss about the trends of electron gain enthalpy in a period as well as in a group. So first of all, we will start with the trends in a period. So in a period, while moving from left to right, the value of electron gain enthalpy increases. Why? Because we know that continuously the non-metallic nature increases, and for non-metallic nature, for non-metals, we know non-metals can easily gain the electron. That's why after gaining the electron will release a large amount of energy, not we are giving. Okay, that's why in this case the value of electron gain enthalpy increases. Why it increases? Because the effective nuclear charge increases as well as atomic size will decrease, or we can say that the non-metallic character increases. Okay, now one more thing is there. Let's discuss for the group numbers, period number second. While moving in period number second, we know that the value of electron gain enthalpy must decrease, but there are certain exceptions that we have to remember. Like you can see that beryllium, it is having the configuration 1s2 2s2. Nitrogen is having 1s2 2s2 2p3, and neon 1s2 2s2 2p6. Since we know that the half-filled and full-filled orbitals or electronic configurations at elements having half-filled or full-filled orbitals, they are quite more stable. That's why they are not willing to add electron. That's why they are having a very lesser amount of electron gain enthalpy. Therefore, the neon is having the least electron gain enthalpy. Afterwards, the nitrogen is there. Afterwards, beryllium is there. Okay. Now, about the lithium, boron, carbon, oxygen and fluorine. So, among lithium and boron also one exception is there. Like boron is having means lesser ionization enthalpy as compared to lithium. Why is it? Because the configuration of lithium is 1s2 2s1 and its configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p1. Okay, so actually this will gain the electron very easily, and the element which will gain the electron more easily is having more electron gain enthalpy value. That's why, because if it will gain one electron, it will become fulfilled and it will get the stability. But in this case, if it is getting one more electron, it is not getting the stability. That's why the value of ionization enthalpy for boron is lesser as compared to the lithium, then carbon, then nitrogen, then oxygen and fluorine. So in second period, fluorine is having maximum ionization enthalpy. So you have to remember these are the certain exceptions that you have to remember. And one more thing, that while moving from left to right in a period, instead of exceptions, the value of electron gain enthalpy will continuously increase, because effective nuclear charge will increase and the non-metallic character will also increase. Now one more thing is there that you have to learn. Students, you have to remember that since we have learned in the factors affecting ionization enthalpy, we have learned that on moving, if the size of atom increases, then the value of electron gain enthalpy will decrease. Why is it? Because if size increases, then repulsion will increase, and to overcome the repulsion we have to give the energy from outside. So electron will release lesser amount of energy, that's why energy released will be lesser and electron gain enthalpy will be lesser. In this case, while moving from period number 2 to period number 3, you have to remember that among all the like lithium, sodium, these are all there. So you have to remember one thing, that the ionization enthalpy of period 3rd is exceptionally greater as compared to the period number 2. For all the elements you have to remember. Why is it? Okay. So we know that the electrons are continuously going to fill in the p orbital, but even after that, why the electron gain enthalpy of elements of period number 3rd is more as compared to period number 2. So let's take an example. Let's discuss with fluorine and chlorine. Okay, so in chlorine, the electronic configuration of chlorine is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p, 3s2, 3p, 5. Okay, and for the fluorine it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Here the electrons are going to fill in 2p orbital, and here the electrons are going to fill in 3p orbital. Since what actually the main reason is there, if we draw the diagram, just for understanding purpose, we are just drawing the diagram. The shape of p orbital is dumbbell shape, and 2p orbital is quite smaller as compared to the 3p orbital. The 3p orbital is having more bigger size as compared to the 2p orbital. So here 5 electrons are present, and here 5 electrons are present. The 5 electrons are present in a smaller space, and here the 5 electrons are present in quite a larger space. So if one more electron is added over here, then what happen? The 6th electron will get a repulsion from the smaller p orbital or electrons in the smaller space. Whereas here in chlorine, we know that the size of 3p orbital is more or bigger as compared to this one orbital. So what happened? So if one more electron is added over here, then it will experience lesser amount of repulsion force as compared to the 2p orbital. Why? Because it is having a larger space. So 6 electron can adjust in larger space, and they will experience lesser amount of repulsion. So only the exception is only between the period number 2 and 3. So the electron gain enthalpy of elements in period number 3 are having more electron gain enthalpy as compared to elements of period number 2. So now let's discuss about the electron gain enthalpy in a group. There are certain exceptions also. Like we know that in a group from top to bottom, the atomic radius will continuously increase. Z effective will decrease. That's why the electron gain enthalpy must also decrease. So actually, but in between period number 2 and 3rd, we know that the electron gain enthalpy of 3rd period is more as compared to 2nd, and rest of all decreases as we move down the group. Same in all the groups. So between group number period number 2nd and 3rd, these two elements are having exception, and rest of all are the same. But now same here also, in between fluorine and chlorine, you have to remember this is a very most important example. Okay, and rest of all are having the lesser, means here we are getting chlorine, fluorine, then bromine, and then iodine. Okay, this will be the order of electron gain enthalpy. Okay, so you have to remember this one. So we can say chlorine is the element which is having most negative or maximum electron gain enthalpy in the periodic table. Okay, Now let's come to the group number 16, which is completely consists of exceptions. The order over here is quite different. That is, we know that among period number second and third, these two elements, the sulfur is having maximum value of electron gain enthalpy, but actually the reality is that the oxygen has the minimum electron gain enthalpy in the whole group. Actually the order is that the maximum is of sulfur, then selenium, then tellurium. We are not going to consider polonium because it is radioactive, and then oxygen. So oxygen is having the minimum electron gain enthalpy in the period. Why is it? Because the size of oxygen is very lesser. Why? Because actually in this the p orbital is there, which is having very smaller size as compared to the others. That's why it will feel the maximum repulsion as compared to the other elements, and that's why its electron gain enthalpy is lesser or more positive as compared to the others. So why the fluorine is not having lesser electron gain enthalpy as compared to others or all the elements of the group? Why? Because fluorine and the elements of 17 group or halogen, they can easily get an electron. Why? Because as soon as they will get an electron, they will get a stable configuration. That's why even after repulsion, they are willing to get an electron very fastly. Okay. So this is the reason. So you have to remember for group number 16, it is the most exception case, and here also you have to remember. And if we are using oxygen, sulfur, fluorine and chlorine, then what will be the order of electron gain enthalpy? Since we know that among chlorine and fluorine, chlorine is maximum electron gain enthalpy as compared to fluorine. And in case of oxygen and sulfur, sulfur is more as compared to oxygen. And since the electron gain enthalpy of group number 17 and 16, group number 17 is more than 16, that's why the order will be chlorine has maximum, then fluorine, then sulfur and then oxygen. So this will be the order of electron gain enthalpy. Okay, you can also calculate the electron gain enthalpy in case of ions or like this. Here also you can calculate the electron gain enthalpy. Chlorine is having maximum, then sulfur, then phosphorus. So in this way also you can calculate the electron gain enthalpy. So students, I hope you understand the electron gain enthalpy. I told you about the exceptions also. So you can revise it. If you are having any queries, then you can ask me.